What's up, King Cats? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are here and we are cozy. So it is officially fall. It is September 24th. Yesterday was the first official day of fall, even though the official first day of fall, as you know, was September 1st. We don't need to go there, but got my cozy sweater on, got my cozy blanket. This blanket is from Overstock. This sweatshirt is Adidas, or pronounced correctly, Adidas. And we are going to do a little Q&A today. It's been a really long time since I've done a Q&A. I posted one up on my Instagram today, and I really love Q&As. I love doing them on my stories. I love doing them on YouTube. I love doing them on the podcast. So you're Qing and I'm Aing today. Let's get into it. Are you and Jenna Marbles related? No, but fun fact, that was like the #1 person I got compared to when I started YouTube. I guess we have like a lot of similar mannerisms. There's people that thought we looked similar. I don't think we look similar. Whatever. Jenna Marbles seems like a cool chick and she's one of the OG YouTubers, so I will take it. By the way, I did not say this when I started the video, but I just assume people know this because I assume most of you are coming from Instagram. I did not do this to my hair. It's fake. Like, it's literally clipped into my head, but I like it. This is my alter ego. Where did you get your wall art decor from? I'm assuming this is the wall art that they were asking about because this is most of my wall art. This is from Society6. So Society6, I think, is like a website where just artists can post and sell their work. I don't remember the artist of these pieces. Sorry, there's a big glare from the ring light. I don't remember the artist of these pieces, but I do get a lot of art from Society6. It's really great, really affordable, and you can support the artists. So great. Favorite cereal? Hands down, the Mom's Best Honey Graham cereal. I just randomly picked this cereal up one day because I saw it and I was like, oh, this sounds good. And it is. Like, hands down, my favorite cereal, followed close second by Cheerios Honey Nut, particularly because those have just been a favorite for a long time. I swear to you, the Honey Grahams are better than Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Nick Comedina, come fight me. I love you, but we're gonna agree to disagree on this. They're phenomenal. Try them. Oh, this is a fun one. How did you decide to start your own business? What's it like being your own boss? So I guess you could say I started my own business when I started being an influencer. Lots of air quotes here. My following started to pick up around 2014-ish, really after I started competing. It was actually really fast and very overwhelming. Like, I went from just being a quote unquote normal person with a normal amount of followers from like high school where I grew up, everything like that. And then by the time, I want to say it was by 2015, because I think it happened. I think it happened when I was in New York with the Donuts and Deadlifts crew at the time, was when I hit 100K. And then I hit 200K the next year at the Arnold in 2016. Obviously, I have not grown that exponentially since then, but it was very overwhelming and it was very rapid. So within like a 1-year time frame, I went from having like maybe 1,000 or 2,000 followers to having 100,000. Like, very overwhelming. That's when I started working with sponsors, things like that. And then it was December of 2015 when I got my first nutrition certification through the ISSN, which is the International Society of Sports Nutrition. And largely I just started coaching due to, one, my own, experience. I did coach clients for not a large amount, but I did coach some clients for free before I ever started my coaching business because I wanted to gain some experience and some testimonials. I also worked in an in-person setting, which is very, in my opinion, important if you're going to be any kind of trainer, but I worked in a sport performance facility. I did work with a couple of one-on-ones there, but I also worked largely in group settings, working with the athletes. I was the assistant coach there. And it was that December. So this December will be my 4-year anniversary of being a coach. But that December was when I took on my first client. That's when I first opened up my inquiries to being a coach. That was when I first started coaching. And so it was never really something that I decided. My friend Sean Pastuch, I was on his podcast and I was kind of telling him my story, and he made this really great analogy of you jumped and built your parachute on the way down with like a lot of things in my life, but it was never something where I was like, I want to be an online coach. And like I like planned for that for like months and years at a time. It was just kind of like this natural evolution of my life. And it was something that I felt and made sure I was educated enough to do, and continued my education up until this point where I am still continuing my education, because science is ever evolving, and I think to be a good coach, you should be continually educating yourself. But I made sure that I had a certification. I made sure that I was educated myself on top of like formal education, and there was a demand there, so I kind of created my own coaching process, and that was that. Being your own boss it's a mixed bag. I think any job is going to be a mixed bag. You know, there's going to be pros and cons. I think there's a large misconception, and I talk about being my own boss predominantly from the coaching aspect of things because that is my primary job at this moment in time in my life. So you're going to have your pros and cons, especially in something where, as of right now, even though I am in the process of trying to bring on another coach, like at this point in time right now, so you know, the past almost 4 years of being a coach, I've been the only employee. So I don't have any higher ups telling me, hey, you are doing really great here and you need improvement here, or, you know, this is how this works and this is how this works. Like, you kind of have to figure it out on your own. Obviously, I have a lot of really wonderful people in my life that are in similar fields or similar job positions that I can kind of bounce ideas off of or bounce thoughts off of or ask questions to. But at the end of the day, it is my business and I have to essentially just be the one to figure it out. So that's honestly probably the biggest struggle, is not having anyone above you or around you to give you feedback on how you're performing your job. Obviously, I get client feedback and that is really wonderful and really helpful. But yeah, so that's one of the hardest parts of being your own boss, but it is a wonderful job and a wonderful opportunity just because I do get to set my own schedule. I do get to kind of run my life how I choose. As long as I get my work done, I can do that on whatever schedule I find best for myself. So it is a huge blessing, but it's also, especially working in an online format, it's not like I have a storefront that I go to from 9 to 5 every day and then I come home. Work-life separation for me is really difficult just because as long as I have my computer or my phone or whatever on me, I can work. And so for me, stepping back from that is very difficult, especially when I also take into consideration the fact that my income is a direct reflection of how much or how little I work. So it's almost like a spinning wheel kind of situation where it's like, oh, always got to be doing more, got to be doing more, got to be doing more. And that's something I've really been working on lately, is setting boundaries, not just only, you know, with clients, but also with myself, to be like, hey, dude, you like this is, you say you're not going to be on your computer at these times, you need to make sure you're not. Like, do it. That was a very, 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 very long answer. When can we expect the Wonder Woman Mentality merch to drop? Can't wait to get my hands on everything. Love ya. Love you back. And it actually should I just said actually, so strange. It should actually hopefully be within the next week or so. I will give you guys the exact dates and times when it is ready. But all of the items are printed. We just have to get photos. We have to get everything up on the site. And that's really the last step. So be ready. I get this question all the time, and I'm probably not going to give you the answer that you want to hear, but people ask me all the time what I think about Stephanie Buttermore's All-In movement. So Stephanie Buttermore is another YouTuber, another influencer. She's somebody that I would consider a friend, not like a close friend. We're not super tight or anything, but like we're very cordial with each other. Lots of mutual respect there. Like we've met in person multiple times, like those kind of things. She's somebody that I have a lot of respect for. First of all, I don't know why people want to know my thoughts on it, because it's frankly not my business. And I don't personally think that my speaking on it is going to necessarily do anything to help anyone. And as somebody that, like, my life is publicly online, and like I know what it's like to get loads of opinions on what I'm doing, whether I ask for those opinions or not, I know how much that can weigh on a person. And so it doesn't matter what I think of what she's doing. If what she is doing is what she needs to do for herself, and it's making her feel better and it's making her healthier, then it doesn't matter what I think. And that doesn't mean I think anything bad. It just means that it doesn't matter what I think, because she's doing something that she thinks is best for her. She's a highly intelligent individual. Like, let her be. You know, it's a hard, like it's, and this sounds so like nobody understands me because I'm an influencer kind of a thing, but you don't know what it's like to have literally hundreds of thousands of opinions projected on you about what you're doing unless you experience that. And so I'm not going to like add to that. I think that it's up to everyone, like your body, your business. I don't think it's something that every single person should be doing. And she makes that very clear in her videos. You know, she says it all the time, like, just because I'm doing this doesn't mean you should be doing this. I think that for the majority of people, if it's something that you decide to do, you should be under the supervision of a professional, just because of the risk of things like refeeding syndrome, which can be really, really serious due to the large potential shifts in electrolyte balance. But like, if that's what she needs to do for herself, her physical, mental health, and she's happy, like, go for it. Are you going to the Arnold in 2020? I think so. I mean, I don't see why not. I don't think Legion doesn't really do expos. I'm pretty sure Cured will be there again. So as far as I know, yeah. What's the hardest thing you found about reverse dieting? How much time you got? I personally find reverse dieting infinitely harder than fat loss phases. For one, fat loss phases are much more instantly gratifying. You know, you see those physical changes much more rapidly, much more regularly. I think for me, the hardest part of reverse dieting, it's like that questioning of, am I on the right path? And that's why I get coached, because even coaches need coaches, because even we lack the ability to be completely objective with ourselves. You know, I can be objective with my clients all day long. When it comes to myself, I can't do that. But it's kind of like this constant question of, oh my God, like, am I building enough tissue? Am I working hard enough? Am I putting this to good enough use? Am I making the progress that I need to be making? Like, just this constant questioning, because it's like, this is the stage that matters the most, and this is where the most progress gets made, and this is where you have to push your training, but also keep recovery tip top and not take it too far. There's a line between pushing hard enough and pushing too hard to where you don't recover. And obviously you'd be able to feel that physically. But yeah, just like the constant questioning of, will this be enough? And there's people that would be like super like, bleh, and say like, oh, if you just train hard enough, then you should know that it's gonna be enough, like no days off. And first of all, it's just a constant mental game of, am I building the tissue that I want to build, or is this just conveniently located fat deposits? And like the question of like, oh my God, am I giving myself enough time to like have a responsive system? Like when it comes time to diet again, like da 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 da. And it's like, I could know like my feedback is good and like it's on a good path, but I still have those same worries just because like I want it so much, and I know how important the reverse diet is. So yeah, just the constant like, will this be enough game, which it will. It will. Favorite Legion protein? I know you won't lie, LOL. So first of all, let me just say, I love that Legion is so chill about like, if I don't like something, I can flat out say I don't like it. Thank you so much, Legion. You're phenomenal. But my favorite Legion protein flavor is the salted caramel, followed, they're like neck and neck. The salted caramel and the cereal milk are like so good. How do you not get frustrated by Fitspos that are definitely uneducated and copy content? So I get frustrated, don't get me wrong, but I'm also a big proponent of like directing your energy into the appropriate place. So for me, the appropriate place to dedicate my energy is not getting annoyed with people and what they do, but instead making sure that I'm doing what I want to be doing or seeing within the industry, if that makes sense. So like, I'm a big fan of, instead of talking shit, be the change that you want to see. So instead of being like, oh my God, this person is posting a really like fat burning workouts aren't real, like that's not a real thing. Instead, just educating people, like leading the example that I want to lead. And I hope I do that well. Like that's my goal always, is to just lead by example. Favorite AHA that you use? I would say my favorite AHA that I use is the Ulla Henriksen toner, the Glow H2 or the Glow 2O toner. That shit has changed my face. And like when I don't use it, I notice. So that. Do you have an approximate for when you'll be ready to announce the new business? I don't yet, but I should be getting what are hopefully finalized samples like next week. I'm so excited. I'm gonna be fully transparent. My camera overheated and I started cooking my dinner while I let it cool down. So this might turn into a mukbang real fast. Okay, so where I think it cut off was someone asked, how's your heart? Which I just think is the sweetest thing. She's been through some things, is how she's doing. So I would say she's doing okay. She's processing. She is a little closed off. And I'm someone that I deal with emotions publicly through sarcasm, if you can't tell. But in all seriousness, you know, I've been through a lot in the last year and a half as far as relationships go. Obviously, I was in a very serious relationship that ended back in January officially. And then a few months after that, I started seeing a new person unexpectedly. I was not expecting to get into a relationship that quickly after that relationship, but I was also not going to not, just because of it's only been X amount of time since I've been saying whatever. And that most recent one, honestly, shattering sounds. It really spun me for one. And that's been something that I've been trying to work through, and it's been really difficult. And I just noticed that I'm a lot, like there's like a little like, it's like the neon signs at restaurants, how it says like open or closed. Neon sign closed. I noticed like I would like download dating apps, and I fun fact, my mom like pulled me aside one day because like our iTunes accounts are all linked. She was like, I just wanted to like ask you, did you download a dating app? Because like she can see the app downloads and like purchases and stuff because like it goes to the iTunes account email. And I was like, yes mom, I did. And she was like, okay, like I just wanted to make sure, didn't know you were looking. And I was like, god damn it. But I like downloaded some dating apps, and like I would like scroll through them, and I noticed that I would like chat. If I were to chat with anyone, I would chat with them for like 2 seconds, then I'd be like, oh, I can't do this. Precisely like that. So it's like I'm open to the idea of a relationship, but I'm also like, whoo, there's a lot still going on in here. And so I'm not going to be like, I'm purposefully not dating right now. I'm not going to close myself off to if something wonderful were to come along like into my life. I'm not going to be like, sorry, no dating policy. But I've also noticed that I'm like, oh, dating sounds like really fun. Like, oh, I would love to like hold your hand and like eat food with you and like all of those things. And then when I'm like, and open up to you, I'm like, ah! Like screeching halt sounds. Like, so that's kind of where heart's at. And I'm sure that if the right person were to come along, some of those feelings and those fears and those apprehensions would be quelled in the presence of the right person. But yeah. Someone else asked, getting that D or enjoying the single life? I think I just answered that. Whatever your, we'll call it sexual freedom, looks like to you when you are a single person, honey, sow your wild oats. Like, do you? That is not me. I do not function that way. Like that makes me want to throw up everywhere. Like I can't function that way. I am not I would not do well with the whole like dating around, like one night stand situation. Like I am very much so like I need to be mentally, emotionally, physically connected to you, and I need to have some kind of trust there in order to even like hold your hand. So like, no, the only D, you know what? I am getting the D. You know what D I'm getting? Dollars, girl. Because I also like to bury myself in work, which is not a healthy coping mechanism. But anyway. I told you guys, turning this into a mukbang. Never done one before. Here we are. I think if you do a mukbang, you're supposed to like order food. I don't know. How do you motivate yourself to decorate and maintain your home? Simple answer to this is I'm a Taurus and I like pretty things. Not so simple answer to this is I also work from home, so like I'm very much so affected, by my environment. Like if I don't like my physical surroundings and I don't feel like good energy from those surroundings, I cannot function. So That's how I actually don't need to motivate myself at all. I probably am a little too motivated to do it. I love decorating. So that's hot. I will literally pore over photos and like images of home spaces for hours. Hours! Next travel destination. I'm going to Houston tomorrow to visit my friend Ariana. It's going to be very fun. I've never been to Houston. Favorite form of self-care? Spending time by myself. Like, I am so not afraid to be like, no, I don't really want to go. I just want to hang out by myself. Or like, I remember there was a specific instance this year where like a bunch of us went out to one of the bars and like it was like 10 or 10:30 or something like that. And like I rode over to the bars with one of my friends. Like they drove and like I could tell that they were gonna be there for like a while longer and I was starting to get kind of cranky. I was like, I want to go home. Like I don't want to be out right now. So I was just like, okay, I'm gonna get an Uber and I'm gonna go home. I'll see you guys later. And like, I was so proud of myself for doing that because in the past I would have like allowed myself to be miserable because I didn't want like other people to think any differently of me or whatever. So yeah. Is your ultimate goal Miss Bikini Olympia? Yes, numerous times. Do you get benefits from coaching, health insurance, and retirement? Absolutely fucking not. When you are self-employed, you get screwed on taxes because you essentially have to pay like double because you're the employer and the employee. You do not get built-in healthcare, health insurance. You do not get built-in retirement funds, things like that. So like with something like retirement, for example, like I have a Roth IRA that I started when I was like 18 or 19 and I contribute to that every month, but like I am my employer, so I have to pay into my own retirement, if that makes sense. So no, I do not get any benefits. Being a Harry Potter fan, were you a fan of how they did the movies? Did you like Fantastic Beasts? 1, yes, I did like Fantastic Beasts. 2, I think they did a pretty good job on the movies. The only thing that I'm really upset about from the movies is that they completely left out the house elf liberation front. I will never get over that. Do you take time off from your business, holidays, etc.? I guess it's harder when you're your own boss. I suck at taking time off. Like, absolutely suck. I will work on holidays. I haven't gone on an actual non-working vacation since I became a coach. Like, when I went to Punta Cana in March of 2018, I told my clients, I was like, you can still send in your check-ins, but I'm not going to be responding to them until like we're, you know, flying home on Saturday. As soon as I saw emails start to roll in, I literally started responding because that's who I am as a person. One of my goals is to take a non-working vacation soon. How did you manage your time when in college? I basically did not do anything but eat, sleep, train, go to school, study, and work. That was my life and I was happy that way. I'm not saying that that's for everyone, but like that's what I did, and I'm a big fan of time blocking. So like what I tell all my clients, whether they work in like a very just rigorous schedule, whether they're students, whatever it is literally time block your schedule in 15-minute increments from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed, and literally slot time for every single thing that you need to do. I would slot time for like walking to this building and then going to class and then walking from that class to this class. Like I would slot out down to the 15-minute increments every single thing that I had to do in a day, and like I would color code it and like color it in and like all that stuff, and like that's how I planned my life. So that's how I manage my time. What are your top 3 goals right now? Get ready for prep, get all my shit packed up to move, and start this new business. That's it. Favorite thing about the Midwest? Cost of living. All right, you guys, that is gonna be about it. I'm going to finish my dinner. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this Q&A. My camera looks very crooked right now, so I'm probably gonna have to fix that in post. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A. If you enjoyed this video, leave a comment below of your favorite part. Give this video a big thumbs up. If you're not already, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. I love you guys so much. Bye.